Yeah. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking around. We might have to go like another 9 hours because I'm having a great time.
This is the kind of stuff, I was actually thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be missing WWE Raw to watch this. And I thought to myself after the first 5 minutes, this is WWE Raw.
Oh, you mean last night?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
SmackDown tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
If you knew your wrestling, you would know that.
No, I know when Raw and SmackDown are. I listen to a wrestling podcast every single week. Just because I subscribe to it. I'm a man of the culture. I want to become like Aristotle was, someone well versed in every aspect of American culture.
Oh, right, good deal.
But I don't watch tennis or NASCAR. So I mean, I got to get.
Now you got to do that.
I got to get involved in that. No, so we talked about a couple of the things that Hillary missed. And I think it's a calculation on her part, but I think there's merit to the calculation. Because on the one hand, you would have loved to see her just stick it to him with more than just a couple of the things that she got in there. Okay, but on the other hand, she's a lawyer. She has that sort of the training that lawyers have, and I can tell you
the ability to separate your own personal self from the questions.
Well, that, but also we're trained through lots and just through experience and also trial and error. If you're a witness, if you're cross-examining somebody, or you're in a deposition with taking somebody's deposition, or you're arguing a motion in front of a judge, if your opponent in that setting, whoever it happens to be, says something outrageous or shocking or surprising or is something off script from what you're prepared for that benefits you, you'd let that sit. You don't need any more follow-up. You let it sit, you let it resonate. What better response to I think I did the country a favor by forcing the president to give his birth certificate than her like kind of just stunned silence that he would say something like that. You know what I mean? So I think that there are two ways to look at it. But let's talk about an opportunity that Trump missed to really get at. So Hillary Clinton gets kind of popped on the email thing again. I'll release my tax returns when you release your 33. I mean, don't get me started about him lifting that concept from Bernie Sanders with the speeches from Goldman Sachs or whatever. I mean, it's not a great comparison in my mind, but it works. It works really well, and it works for his supporters. And she really didn't have much to say to it. So Lester Holt turns to her and says, Secretary Clinton, what about your emails? And all she says is, it was a mistake. I take responsibility. I'm not making excuses. And I do it differently. And Trump said nothing. Could you believe that?
No, I
He had
not.
her on the one. There are two things that people hate about Hillary Clinton right now: the emails and the Clinton Foundation. And he didn't touch either
one. Nope.
He didn't even bring up the Clinton Foundation.
Well, and that speaks to my brother Joe just texted and said, Hillary was prepared and Trump wasn't. We can all agree to that.
Yeah.
And that is where preparation gets you, because it would have been very simple at that point to go, hold on, you're saying, geez, I made a mistake. But when you cost lives because of the emails that contain security breaches were taken over, saying sorry to the families doesn't cut it.
Well,
something like that.
Well, yeah.
He could have come back at her, but he didn't. He let it go.
He could have tried that. I don't know if that line of attack would work, but he should have said there could have been more. There could have been more there. Do you think that it's because, well, the emails is one thing, but I'm curious because the Clinton Foundation didn't come up. Do you suppose that Kellyanne Conway, who is an absolute she's awesome. She's awesome at her job, and she has really polished a campaign that was, I think, floundering, or that would have floundered worse in the general. Do you think that's a Kellyanne Conway thing of, hey, look, you can go after the Clinton Foundation if you want, but you just got busted big time by the Washington Post and Newsweek for some of the weird things that the Trump Foundation has spent its money on recently, like the pictures or the paintings of him and all the rest of that stuff. And she was like, "And you haven't used any of your own money since 2007. So do it if you think it's going to work for you, but just know that they've got a rebuttal in the chamber."
Well, and I would agree with that. I think that is something. Plus, the other thing is I saw a lot of articles that said Donald Trump had donated to the Clinton Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
At one time.
Yep.
So how do you tax something you donated to? It'd be with me the CEO of Youth Owns Men America is running for something, and I'm running against him. I'm going like, well, I worked there. I donate to it. It would be silly. So I think you're right about it.
Let me ask you this question. So you know how he got so much play early on in his campaign, like the first couple of months when he said, I know what these guys do. I gave money to these guys. I gave money to everybody so that I could get what I wanted from them. That's how politics is played. I know the system. I can't be bought. You need to trust me with this, and I'll clean things up. That got bigger play. That got bigger play than the wall. That got bigger play than any trade stuff that he talked about. That was really what launched him. Was I'm rich. I know how these people operate. They can't buy me because I know that because I've bought them before. That he got serious props for that early on. So if he comes out and says, "Hey, Secretary Clinton, you say that the Trump Foundation, or you say the Clinton Foundation is separate from you, but I gave you $100,000 and I got a meeting with you 2 days later." Now,
that's genius.
Except that wouldn't that splash back on him?
It might, but that would be genius. Because let's look.
People don't hold him the same standards they hold her.
That's my point. I agree with you 100%. I don't know. We've talked about the female thing, which
I'm talking about the politician thing.
Well, but female politicians are held to a different standard. Period.
Right.
But now you add on the fact that she is a politician. I do believe that she is held to a different standard. Now, I want to mention quickly, because we're coming up against a break again, the most genius move out of the entire night, and there were several. I mean, Donald Trump did well at the beginning, and then he hung himself, and Hillary came back at the end. She mentions this Alicia Machado, and if people don't know, she won the Miss Universe.
I don't think so. I think she was a contestant, though.
No, I think she won it. I think she won Miss Universe. I can't remember, but anyway, she's from Mexico. Very popular actress down there. It was the first time after Trump had bought the pageant, and she was crowned that winner. And he essentially just crapped on her. And I remember when it happened because I was appalled.
Called her Miss Piggy?
Yeah, I was appalled by, I'm a big fan of, I like women. I want them to do well. I'm a big fan of that. And here's this lady getting crapped on by Donald, and nobody could believe he was doing it. And it was such a backlash in Mexico that he issued what is for Trump an apology, which is not one. And there is Clinton, who out of all the women that Trump has supposedly denigrated, picks that one.
Nailed
Brilliant.
him with it. And then in the spin room, to defend himself, he says, "Hey, look, she gained a lot of weight and it was a big problem."
Well, and the truth is, and that's the truth, because if you're a model in a pageant, gaining a lot of weight is a problem.
That doesn't make it less gross.
But it doesn't absolve you of your behavior.
No.
And here's the genius part. With one name, she poked Donald Trump in the eye with women and Hispanics, reminding Hispanics, who he's wildly unpopular with, why he is unpopular. That's my genius move of the debate.
Yeah.
So we're up against the break. What are we going to talk about? Same stuff as usual?
Well, we might as well just close it out and see, and maybe make predictions for the town hall.
One. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back right after this break. We could not do what we do without you.